What's up, guys? This is Chaos here again with another learning to edit. It's very good to be back, that's all I know. And for this tutorial, I am going to be showing you, well, like for the next couple, I'm gonna be just be showing you little steps of me going through my edit I'm doing for Obey someone for right now. And so this first one's gonna be mainly just like importing it, like, well, first rendering it out into like a PNG sequence and then putting it in Boujou and tracking it, and the next one will probably be how I actually make the text. Yeah, okay, so this is the last one I just did, so don't need it anymore, but I use Sony Vegas just for this part of my whole editing style, because for some reason when I try and render out in After Effects the PNG sequence, it doesn't work in Boujou. So yeah, that's why I just use Sony Vegas, because for some reason it works. And yeah, so I got some ghost cinematics here. I'm gonna swoop up on this one. There might have just, yeah, okay, so this is the one. Yeah, this bad boy right here. It's gonna be pretty nice. Okay, but the main thing you want to do, I'm gonna scroll in. Main thing you're gonna want to do is make sure that the sorry about this, just getting back into the things, pretty rough. Okay, but you want to make sure the beginning of where you're gonna render is the beginning of when it starts moving. You don't want it to have like a frozen frame at the beginning or the end. This one so happens to be all the way, like it just the perfect render. Let's go. And so I don't need to do anything, but if you did, just like render it off so that the frame that you don't need is just cut out. Then you just double click, get the blue thing. I don't know if you need to do that. I'm going to disable resample. I don't know if you need to do that either, but I do that for clips, so I'm going to do it on this. Then hit up render as. I choose PNG sequence. And then you got to make your own folder of it, because if you don't, then it'll just like send a whole bunch of pictures all around wherever it was going to save. So I'm going to name it Obey 2 because it's a second motion track, and just throw it in there. It doesn't really matter what it's named. And yeah, I'm going to render, and I'll be right back when it's done. Alright, so it just finished, so now we are going to go right into the Boujou step of this process. Not sure why that's open. Give it a second to open, shouldn't take too long. Might as well close out of Vegas while we're waiting. Alright, I guess I'll pause it and I'll be back when it opens. Alright, and here we are. Let me import the sequence by going there and then find wherever you saved it. Saved it under, where did I, okay, so pictures, editing tools, cinematics, Obey 2, and then you want to just double click the first one, and then it's going to bring this part up. You want to change it to 59.94 FPS, apply, and that's going to do some weird thing. Say no if that pops up, and then it'll go back 25 for some reason and do 59 again, apply, and then it'll stay. So close. Then what you're going to want to do is track the features. So if it's a nice little motion track like mine where it's nice and simple, you'll be fine just doing this. If there's some gun or something moving in it, then you add these masks, but I'm not going to get into that because that's pretty complicated and I don't really need to use it right now. So what I do is you click the track thing, and then I put it as many points as possible just so I can get the best track, and then I'll start it, then I'll be back when it finishes. And we're back again. Alright, now that it's finished, you'll have these little red crosses that are your track points. And now what you want to do is solve the camera, so that you just need to solve the camera, right? That's where you'll get these little blue and yellow dots, and then you like can track an actual object. Alright, I'll be back when this is done also. Alrighty, well, those are the blue and yellow dots I was talking about. Now this is the part where most people mess up and get really mad at motion tracking in Boujou. So you got these blue and yellow dots, and you want to go to the place where you're gonna have your text be. So I'm gonna have it like somewhere near this bridge or somewhere like up here in the center. And so to do that, you want to get points of the ground. And so you want to, where is it? Going to scene geometry, and then add a coordinate from hint. Then I'm just going to add 2 more because we're going to need 3 altogether. Click the top one, and then just get an x-axis. Now you're going to keep that there, and you're going to go over here because this is where I want my floor to somewhat be. And you want to find 2 points that are pretty, like, they're straight across from each other. So this point and then this point right here is probably good. So you just want to control click and then connect to select it. Now you have those, and you go to the second one and you want to get the z-axis. So now you want 2 that are like straight on the z plane. So you don't want one that's, you don't want this point and this point because that's like diagonal. You want like this point. Well, no, you'll probably want these 2 points because they're pretty straight away from each other. This point and this point aren't evenly surfaced on the ground because that one's on a hill. So we're gonna go here, we're gonna click this, control, click that one, connect to selected, and then the origin, you just want to pick any one point that is like somewhere nice and strong point that is in the center, or it doesn't even really need to be in the center, just somewhere near where you want it to be tracked. And you connect that to selected. You want to update the coordinate frame, and maybe twice just to be sure, and then you should be gold. To check, you can add a test object, and as you can see, I did make a mistake, and it is kind of like up and down, but to fix that, you just go back to the scene geometry and find the one where it's kind of messed up. I have a feeling that is in the z-axis. So I'm gonna, whoops-a-daisy, I'm gonna go back onto here, and I saw a couple points back here. So maybe this point and this point. Connect to selected, update your coordinate frame, or coordinate, I don't even know what that was, and add your test object. And it's still a little messed up, but you'll, as long as it's like staying still and not really moving around throughout the whole video or throughout your whole motion track, then you're fine, because you're gonna like rotate it and move it to where exactly you want it positioned, but you just want it somewhat steady. So now we're gonna export the camera to Cinema 4D, C4D, go to browse, I'm gonna just save it here, it's obey 2, and then scale this up to 100, and then that's it. Save it, and then I'm just gonna save this on here also so that I don't lose it somehow, and you can name it the same thing because they're different project files. And boom. Alright, that's going to be the end of this episode here because it's getting a little long, but I will be showing you more on how to do the text and stuff later. So, peace. Hope you guys understood what I was talking about. Sorry if I stuttered a lot because I'm coming back, but thanks for watching. Adios.